Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, gays. Here we are. It's the Pride episode. Oh my God! Did you put that in there?
That was the sneaky surprise.
Oh my gosh. Do it again for everybody.
Hi, gay.
Is that them? Oh my gosh. That's so good. We're about to be stepping up our sound bite game, because after watching the Wendy Williams documentary, Brandon, I started adding in the little timestamps so you can go in there and grab them.
Oh my God, what a treat, what a dream.
It'll be so good. That's Brandon's new thing, is instead of saying what a treat, it's what a treat, what a dream.
Well, my girl Nicole Byer, she added the what a dream part to the what a treat.
Who's Nicole Byer?
Comedian.
Comedian.
She was on Girl Code.
I don't think I saw
Has a million podcasts. She's nailed it. She's the host of Nailed It on Netflix.
Okay.
The baking show.
I know of all those things, but have never dove into them.
I guarantee if you saw a picture, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's her.
Mm-hmm. It is the Pride episode, y'all. We're here.
Hi, gay.
Yeah, it's Pride this weekend, this week technically, in the Twin Cities. Miss Taylor Swift is in town.
Both days.
So.
And guess who has 0 tickets? Me.
Us. Hello.
Both of us. All of us.
We've been taunted on TikTok this whole tour.
I have watched it on TikTok Live 3 separate tour dates. I could have done more, but I just don't have that much time on the weekends.
So right away at the beginning, y'all, if anyone has tickets or whatever, you can't go, we will trade any plant that we have. Brandon's ready to give up his whole collection.
I will give you anything you want.
Yeah, I have a cabinet I could give up, for realsies.
I'll completely leave the hobby.
Throw it all in. You'll never hear from us again.
If you want me to shut this podcast down, I will. Nicole, it'll be Where Are We Growing with Nicole Larson and Cece.
Cause here's the thing, I don't consider myself a huge Swiftie. I don't not like Taylor Swift. I do know a lot of her old music too. I know a lot of her new music. So I'm it feels like the Woodstock of this time. It feels like we need to go.
Yeah, it's an experience.
She's still going to be on this tour at the end of next year. It's going to be going on and on and on. And so if we can't go, here's the thing, Brandon, now we have time to plan. So if we don't make this week happen, then we need to do some type of European adventure, and then we could go there.
We could
probably make that happen.
We have a lot of listeners in countries
everywhere.
In Europe.
Oh yeah, so. Does someone want to host us? Because if we're buying Swiftie tickets, we're not going to be able to buy a hotel or anything like that. Come pick us up from the airport. We might even have to row over there. We have to start rowing on our boat in a couple months. Oh my goodness. So yeah,
I'm down for it.
Do you have any fun life updates? Any queer related updates on theme? What do you want to share?
I don't think I do.
Okay, so I was here the other day with Brenna on my own. Do you know that? I was hanging out with Brenna.
I thought she was joking.
No, it was for real. I don't think I told you that though, because I was having a sad day, so I just wasn't really talking to people. But yeah, I came over here and we were watching Real Housewives, Beverly Hills, and we were tracking you, and I was like, Brandon looks like he's at the sculpture garden. And I was like, I think Brandon's on a little date. Brandon's on a little date at the sculpture garden. And then you were at some weird, it looked like an antique place. And then I was like, he wouldn't be at an antique place.
Brenda told me this, and you were 100% right.
I said, you know what? I bet that it's someone who lives above that antique place, because he would not be chilling here for hours on end. And I bet that he's at someone's humble abode above that shop. I was right.
You caught me.
I love it. She's like, I wouldn't even thought of that. And I'm like, I'm good. Yeah. I should really be part of the FBI.
Literally.
I think about that often. Do you ever think about how people get those jobs? Because it's not like they just recruit people. I think you have to be within the family, don't you?
No. I do know actually a little bit about this, because there is an FBI headquarters in South Milwaukee. Technically,
I'm pretty sure there's an FBI headquarters in every state.
Technically, it's in Cudahy, but I would run past it all the time, and they would have open. You could go to the FBI headquarters with your kids and learn about the FBI. I didn't, but I
just feel like that's propaganda. I wouldn't believe a damn thing I heard.
Amen.
Sorry,
but they post all their jobs on Indeed. That's where you find them.
That's bullshit.
I know, but they have very specific requirements.
Okay, I don't know if they can really do this, but if there's anybody, hello, listeners, you know that there's going to be somebody whose family worked or works in the FBI, or I wonder like how different it is or how hard it is to get into FBI versus the CIA.
Yeah.
And how separate are those?
I think I knew that at one point too, a little bit. I don't know. But they recruit really weird on LinkedIn. They're like, you have to have been a teacher for 6 years. You have to have this very specific skill. Like, it's like you don't just apply. You have to like see the list of requirements, check off all the requirements, and then you can apply. Because I think it's for like missions.
Missions? Like undercover?
Yeah, they were like asking for, I was like, why would they want teachers to be in the FBI?
I feel like people listening to this that actually know the truth are like, bullshit. No, 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 no.
They were just very odd requirements.
Well, that'd be really interesting. I'm putting it out there. I don't want to work for the government. I just want to know things. Maybe I don't want to know things.
No,
maybe I'm blissfully ignorant.
That was my one wish as a kid, is I wanted to know everything. Can you imagine?
And now in your 30s, you're like, no.
I'd rather know less than I know now.
You're like, I know too much.
And
at
never
this
learn
point.
another thing again.
Full capacity up here.
I mean, I really am, but
you wanted to mention Apple reviews.
Okay, gang. So we have a strange requirement of you. If you haven't already, you need to write us an Apple review. We are running out of reviews to read. But you guys on Spotify, you're kicking ass. We have so many Spotify reviews, but you can't write one. So you can also email us one if you did one on Spotify. Wait, I think you can't. No, you can comment.
You can comment.
You can comment on things on Spotify, but it's hard for us to like look at it. It's like kind of a rigmarole. It's not like they're like, oh, you got a comment on Spotify. There are a couple comments, but they're not like, Anyway, so go to Apple, write us a review. We'll read it on air, or send us an email. If you wrote one on Spotify, send us an email saying you did, and I'll go find it. But here is one that I thought was hilarious. So it is The Raw Talent by
The Raw Talent?
Almost Drizzabel. Am I going blind? Yeah, Almost Drizzabel. No. Yes? Oh, Almost Dr. Isabel.
Okay.
So that's, okay. The I, it looked like an L.
Okay.
Anyway. It's rare that a podcast touches on literally all of my interests. Plants, cats, and being a pediatrician. Oh my God, we did talk about that.
Being a pediatrician?
But I wouldn't be surprised if Brand Nicole pulled it off on a recent episode. Being non-judgmental, plant knowledge, and very, very spicy plant gossip. Ooh. Outstanding producers looking at you, Cece, and the occasional curiosity about why babies can't have water. I'm confident anyone can find something to love in where we
think
growing.
about that a lot, y'all.
Well,
why babies can't have water.
Why didn't we get an answer, Almost Dr. Isabel, in this review?
I think it's...
Or did we know the answer?
I think we Googled it. We just kind of forgot it.
Oh, yeah. Again, I'm at capacity.
Remember, it can make them like dehydrated. You give them too much water. So they need nutrients. They don't need water. We're already made up of water.
Well, they should be having their sups with their water then. I don't know what to tell them.
Oh, my goodness. So before we get into all the things, well, I will first say warning. I mean, we didn't think people were listening with their kids, but now we know that some people listen with their kids. We're not getting too raunchy in this episode, but like, some gay topics get a little,
It is in the middle of the day. It's not at night. Usually at night is when those episodes take the downslide, so.
Well, I have things to ask, and who knows what you're going to say.
No, y'all better buckle up.
Just so you know. But I will say, well, today we're recording on the first day of summer, Brandon. Does it feel like the first day of summer?
Well, I thought today was the first day of summer, and then July 21st was the summer solstice. Apparently, I was wrong. It's the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Where have I been living?
I don't know.
Which means today's the longest day of the year. They only get shorter from here on out.
Shit, don't say that. Yeah, that's right. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like hearing that.
Oh my God, look at that Amazon driver. He is sprinting.
I saw one the other day in like Northeast that was just like for a stroll. Like his truck was down the street.
Oh, he was doing it mailman style?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but he just didn't seem like he was in a hurry. I don't know. I did finally order a bunch of rice-a-roni on Amazon because my Target, the Corey Target, has not had rice-a-roni cups like at all. They actually don't even have rice-a-roni in the box. Like it's just gone.
Oh, look at him
I don't know.
Oh, I thought he was going to really go for it.
He's kind of cute, don't you think? That's your type.
Definitely.
But I was at a different one, and you know what they did? So I was thinking maybe my Target was doing this and like replacing them. But now, you know, the Rice-A-Roni cups, they were just cups, but now they come in like a 4-pack, kind of like Easy Mac style.
Yeah.
So they had those at another Target I was at, and I was like, oh, maybe my Target's gonna get this. I don't know, but Isabella got some Amazon gift cards from work, and I was like, I'm about to order a bunch of Rice-A-Roni and then sphagnum moss. Yep, that's what I did.
What a combo!
Because I have my baby seeds coming out on my anthurium, my first little cross. Which some people sent me, like when I said my first cross or my first time like doing this, people think it's my first time growing anthurium seeds. No, this is not the case. I had one that, well, first of all, you gave me a bunch last time, and then I've grown some from other people, like some
You're very
seeds from
good
other
at
people. I'm okay, but
better than me.
It's more light. I always tell people more light than you think for the seedlings. But anyways, and then I had one that was self-seeding, and then I let that one die because I was just like sad at some point, and a lot of my plants died. Well, not a lot, like compared to whatever. So it's not my first time growing seeds by any means, but it is my first time like taking pollen from one and like actually
cultivating a seedling.
I'm excited. And of course, I was telling Brandon before this, of course, I don't even know what one of them is. Like, of course, it would be like 2 plants that I don't know what they are. But even the forgetti-eye that is the seed parent doesn't look like a normal forgetti-eye.
They both look like
weird
cool crosses, you know?
Yeah, they are both very cool, and I'm excited to see what they do. It makes me think of when people talk about like selecting like cool traits. Like those are just 2 plants that I really like, and I'm excited to see what they do together. But anyways, first day of summer, and y'all, I have no AC.
And I thought our AC was about to go out.
This fucking sucks.
It's
So
rough for us up in Minnesota.
last year, my furnace wasn't working for a little bit. Do you remember at the beginning of winter, I had to have him come out and like kickstart my furnace? The guy was like, oh yeah, it was just kind of locked up. It just needed like a little
good kick in the ass.
It's essentially what he said. And I was like, okay. And he said something like, make sure you're changing the filter, blah, blah, blah. So I did that recently. And like about a month ago when like I noticed the AC wasn't working, I was like, I'm going to go change that filter. It didn't help. I mean, not that would make a huge difference anyways, but I'm on my last one too. So I got to go buy more. There's like a stack of the dirty ones down there. Cause of course.
Did you know you're supposed to change your filter technically every month?
Yeah.
That's so
There's so many things you're supposed to do every month. And I'm like, 1, I'm not a homeowner. Why would I give a shit about this like building? Yeah. 2, they're not coming out and like regularly making sure things are going on. Because when the maintenance guy came out and actually checked out my AC, he was like, has someone looked at this recently? Like, when's the last time? Like, has this been working at all? And I'm like, you're concerning me, sir. Because do you remember I just had to get a new stove because like the back of my oven was like melted. And he was like, yeah, it's the kind of a fire hazard, which is kind of, I mean, not exactly, but it was kind of, my AC was turning into a fire hazard because it was like sending signals and like triggering things that weren't going anywhere or doing anything. I don't know. He said something about the wires being fucked up, and I don't know. Then they like changed a part that didn't work. So then my maintenance guy, or the maintenance guy of my property management, couldn't figure it out. So they had an actual like specialty third party come out,
like an actual HVAC person.
So they came out and took him less than an hour to figure out like, yeah, this thing's fucked. You need a new one. And that was on Thursday.
Okay, this is a conspiracy theory I have, because one of the first things I noticed about moving to Minnesota, I was like, why are there so many air conditioning furnace repair trucks everywhere? And then I was like, why are there so many furnace repair company billboards? They're everywhere. Like 80% of the billboards in Minnesota are HVAC related. And I was like, this is so strange, because in Wisconsin, I don't know a single person who ever had an air conditioning unit.
Like, you couldn't like tell me, like, you don't hear the radio ads for them? They're very popular on the radio ads.
Yeah, and they are not in Wisconsin. And
weird.
I was like, I think that they only half-ass repair these to have them break. We just had ours fixed last year. It should not have been not able to catch up.
I will say, Mom, if you're listening to this, you've had to get yours fixed an insane amount. My mom, I felt like, was always having to get like the AC or like the furnace replaced or something.
There's got to be something going on.
Yeah, they should be lasting longer.
It's insane. And like the amount of people this winter who were like in your situation, like, we're going to freeze to death. At least 10 people that I've never known like that in my entire life. Exactly.
Yeah.
And actually, I do know right now 4 other people who are having air conditioning issues
Ugh.
in Minnesota.
Well, and I wonder, it could also maybe have something to do with the environment, but also could maybe have something to do with, I don't know, it's really hazy right now. Everyone is like not right now, but like, is the bad air quality making
Maybe
a
the
difference?
smoke's clogging stuff up.
I don't know, because he did go back there, the first dude, and was like cleaning it. He also pulled like a hose out of nowhere, and I'm like, do I have a hose? I have to have something connected.
Oh,
like
water.
Water.
Like a hose.
Yeah, and like he was cleaning it off, and I was like, where did you get water?
Because that's what our shamed us for last year. He's like, you have to spray this off with a hose, and we're like, well, our hose spouts don't
Here's
work.
the thing, y'all. Like, I think we need some type of. I mean, I think this was more common back in the day, but I think I need like a household manual, like Martha Stewart book of like things I need to check on.
Well, and the thing is,
it's not just wash your windows, sweep the floor. Like there's actually stuff that I have to be doing like that.
Yeah. And like, I'm a handy gay and these things shouldn't be happening.
Yeah. Everything's catching us by surprise.
Shocking.
I don't like it. Okay. So, well, my update on that is hopefully, I finally have an appointment for them to come fix it this Friday, but I'm kind of annoyed because like they were here Thursday last week. Why is it a whole week until you're like coming out? I mean, I know they said when they were texting me just now, they said they're like flooded with people who need replacements.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why.
It's a whole thing.
It is a whole thing. Oh my gosh. Well, we're talking about like, it's our queer episode. It's the Pride episode. Plants and Pride. But our thesis is, are plants inherently gay? Is plant keeping, house plants, and like being a plant parent, is that a gay thing? I think yes, and I have some evidence. We're going to go through it. In this essay, I will.
By the way, Nicole is planning to submit this as her master's thesis, so you all get a first sneak peek.
Literally, it's my whole binder. You're going through the Cliff Notes right now. Well, first, I will say, are not most of the plant male influencers gay?
Yes, at least to my knowledge.
At least, like, if not, they are giving off that vibe and have not been like, here's my wife or girlfriend,
Mm-hmm. And there are a few that I am lusting after where I feel like they're not gay.
They're not?
But I'm just pretending like they are. Is someone here?
No, I was going to say that dog that was walking towards your house, it looked massive, but now that I see it from the side, it doesn't look so big. I think it's just geriatric.
He is a little bit of a chunker.
Yeah.
Anyway, I am also expecting Pacific Northwest Betta's delivery today.
I hope that comes while I'm here, because I actually would like to see that. And I think I would like to be like second camera while it's here, film that video.
So we might have to take a break for that.
Oh yeah, because we're not just gonna let that sit there. We have to open them up. I will say, like, I think a lot of the plant girlies give me like bi vibes at the very least, or girls that have not figured out their full lesbian, which I did not realize was a thing. I guess, I don't know, it seems like guys figure out, because, okay, y'all, we're not just talking about plants, we're actually talking about like gay shit here. We don't really dive into this as much as we dive into
hi gay.
We don't dive into this as much as we dive into like being neurodivergent.
Yeah.
And like these are two very big parts of our lives, but we don't really talk about being like gay. It's just like kind of like how I don't talk about being blonde. It's just like a thing.
Yeah.
Because it's not something you choose to do in the morning, just like how it doesn't, I mean, we don't choose to be like autistic in the morning, but it seems to affect our lives a lot more.
I feel like being neurodivergent is like the thing where they're like, it's a choice to be gay. I wish it was a choice to be neurodivergent because I can't keep living like this.
I wish it was a choice too. I know some days I'm like, I'm normal now.
I would.
Today I feel like that after finally taking my meds for the first time in a while, I do feel like I'm cured.
You've got a pep in your step.
I do. I'm so excited. I'm like, wow, I feel normal. I even took my like 10 milligram before I came here. So I'm like, it'll be great. And hopefully I'll get a good amount of sleep, because when I was so Brandon was borrowing them to me, which I did tell my psychiatrist about that. I was like, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you this, but I was borrowing my friend's meds while I was out of town. I had to. And I was like, but I was taking 220 milligrams a day, and then I was only sleeping for like 3 hours.
Well, I mean, I think that's good insight for him to dose you correctly.
Yeah. But I said it could also be because I was in like a new place in a new bed, because that bed was not comfortable, and it was a quilt, and I'm a comforter bitch.
That was an awful bed.
Brandon and I were on bunk bed.
Bunk beds with jail fucking mattresses.
Well, we could have chosen not to, because there actually were so many other beds in the house, but I don't know. I think we like companionship.
Yeah.
I'm used to sleeping with somebody, if not in the same room.
I would prefer physical touch, but if we're just, dangling
just
my arm down the bunk and Nicole's kind of latched onto one of my fingers, that's okay.
Oh my gosh. But I don't know what I was actually going to say. My thought was going somewhere. Maybe it'll come back to me.
We don't talk about it as much, and before that was discovering your full lesbianism. How did I remember that?
I don't even know how. I couldn't come back to that.
I do have a thought on that.
Well, okay, I was going to say, because I think it seems like men, and I'm talking strictly just like not a gender thing. We're just talking about like gays and lesbians. Seems like guys tend to figure out like, oh, I'm gay a lot easier than women figure out that they're gay. Is it just because are you just telling yourself like, yeah, I'm gay, I'm not going to mess around with I'm not going to mess around with the other side, like I'm just sort of like I'm gay? Or is it like 100%? How do you feel? Because I go back and forth. Isabella's always like, Nicole, you're a lesbian, but then sometimes like there's a guy where I'm like, oh my god, but he's so hot, I don't know.
This is my true thought, and I can't say this is a straight or gay thing, anything in between, that is your business, but this is for that specific dynamic. What I think it is with men is that being gay as a man laying with a man is so much more stigmatized than a girl laying with a girl. And so
no, I'm not looking at anything, I'm just thinking.
And I think that for women it's harder to make that distinct decision because it isn't as stigmatized. So it's like I could or I couldn't, and no one really cares as much. We're like the guys, they're like, well, it's a big deal.
Decision. Yeah. I don't know.
And that's my 2 cents on that, which obviously I can't really speak about because I am not a woman.
I should put up a poll. A poll of like, I'm just curious how many people, because like I know there's a lot of people who are bi, and I always tell people like, oh, I love women. Like that is the one that I gravitate towards the most, obviously. The one that I think about the most, la da da da. But, and then like sometimes like it's like, oh, I love all women, and then a very specific type of guy maybe. Yeah. But I also like mask women and all this stuff. But anyways, and just like people in general. But I don't know where I was going with that. I'm curious how many people are also feeling or feel that they know 100% for sure one way or the other, or if they're more so in the middle, or if you are bi, I want to know specifically, are you teetering between, am I full gay or am I bi? Am I full gay or am I bi? Because that's where I like land sometimes. I don't know. Definitely couldn't be with like just like a normal like cis straight dude. I don't think.
No, that is my biggest turnoff, and the fact that any of them think I would ever consider touching them, even looking at them. I like look at them and I go, ugh. No.
Well, and skipping down to like, this is where I'm getting not philosophical, but we're getting like a little thinky about this. We're trying to go big brain with this.
We're getting deep into the woods.
I feel like heterosexual people are less inclined. I mean, they don't give me like plant mom, plant dad vibes, but I also feel like they're less inclined to like care about outside things. Like it's very like when you think of like the nuclear family, like you are expected to like have a kid. You're not supposed to think about other like interests. You're not supposed to have other hobbies.
Much less other hobbies that are living.
Yeah, much less. Yeah, something that takes away your attention from caring for your husband and caring for your child.
Procreating.
And then it's like, but if you could have other things in the house, like, oh, you have fresh cut flowers, maybe you have a garden, but you're not supposed to spend too much. That isn't supposed to take away from like
your dominant role.
Your time as like, oh, housewife. I'm thinking obviously very like traditional about this.
But that does make sense.
Yeah, like when I think of a lot of the like heterosexual relationships that I like follow online, or just like people from high school, I don't know, like people I follow online, even the people in Vanderpump Rules, like these girls don't give me the vibe of like, oh, I have 100 houseplants and I love them so much.
No.
And I have all this time to spend with them.
And I've noticed, especially being part of all these Facebook groups, the amount of women who either take it to the next level with their boyfriend or fiance or husband, or if they have kids, they are like dumping these plants. At light speed. Yeah. Where I feel like on the other hand. Yeah,
because I do follow a lot of like women that are like plant girlies that are preggo or have kids or getting into having kids.
And they switch.
It is, and it's sad to watch for me. I mean, I don't have kids. I don't get this. But it is sad to see them like when I've seen them be so happy with their plants before, and I've seen them thriving with them and loving them so much. And I know that like they talk about how like loving a kid is like a whole different thing, and like I'm never gonna know what that's like, blah, blah, blah. But it is sad to see like, oh my God, like you just don't have time for these plants anymore and you just have to give them up. And I'm sure it's easy for them. We don't know what that's like, but it's crazy to watch.
Yeah.
They don't have time for that. Like they have them around, but I mean, baby is like full time.
I will say I do have a friend who just had her second kid and she is still keeping up her plants. Not that she has.
Yeah, I was like, what do you think is like the attainable amount?
She actually had like a ton of plants before. She actually was the reason I got that pothos and like started getting into tropical plants. We got that at Stein's Gardens and Gifts. Shout out to Jessica. She has for a non-plant person, plants are just kind of like a hobby she really enjoys. I would say she probably has around 50-ish plants.
That's a good amount.
But it's like, and she just does it so effortlessly. Like she doesn't.
There's not like a high maintenance setup. They're like pretty basic plants themselves too. Living their lives. They're chilling. Yeah, it's a lot to think about. And I also feel like this goes back to neurodivergent. We know as neurodivergent people, the amount of neurodivergent people who are also queer is like astronomical. I mean, the pie chart is almost a circle. So thinking back to that, I mean, being neurodivergent and having a special interest, of course, your brain's going to be completely different anyways than someone who's like neurotypical and would maybe, obviously neurotypicals still have plants, but maybe they're just not like that heavily into it as much.
Maybe they just have a completely different perception.
On this, I was still talking to Isabella about this yesterday, so let me touch on this real quick. Because I finally was like, okay, I guess I better make this grand announcement that me and Isabella broke up on Instagram, which, by the way, you know how many people normally see my story? It's around, like, on a low is like 300 people if, like, Instagram is being weird, to maybe, like, 1,200, 1,300 people, 1,500 maybe people see my story. Why did over 3,000 people see that? Do you know how many messages I got? Like people, I mean, I love y'all. You're so nice.
I really do want to know what the reasoning is behind that. Like when an astronomical amount of people see your...
There was only 2 stories on, like, it wasn't like I had a lot of stories that people, like, that made people, like, click on it.
I don't know. It's so weird.
I wonder if it's because so many people were, like, hearting it and liking it and messaging me that it just was pushing to more people's, like, the algorithm. It's so weird that more people would see a story than usual. But anyways, literally the next day after that is when we talked about like, okay, maybe like we aren't going to break up. I don't know if I should get into the whole thing.
Yeah, let's let that simmer.
I mean, I'm like open about it, whatever.
We'll do a relationships and plans episode.
Oh, because I was going to say, it's goofy because at the beginning of this, we were both dating people in this podcast.
Oh my God.
Because you're still dating Kyle, and you're not really the type of person to make like a grand announcement about it.
No, because people didn't even know we were together. Yeah, to be honest.
Like I post about Isabella every once in a while, like, and not like huge a lot, but like we live together, so it's just like naturally I talk about her sometimes. So then like I made a little announcement, and then the next day, I don't know, she was then like thinking about it all week and kept being like, "Are you sure you want this?" And I thought it was like, "Yeah, I thought you did too." And then okay, a whole thing. But of course it would be like the next day and then I have all these messages and then I'm like, do I reply to them now? I don't even know how that works. And then of course, like then the Hilton Carter event was that day. And then Amber, shout out Amber, brought me a card.
Oh,
I was like, oh my God. And then like Jay gave me a hug and then everyone's like inviting me over to their house. And I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I say? So awkward.
Well, I say keep that train rolling because we need to get out of the house more.
We do, people. So I did make plans with some people, but still I'm keeping those plans because I'm like, I'm not just going to be like, okay, well, I'm back together with my girlfriend now. I don't need to hang out with you anymore. Bye. Like, that's stupid.
I mean, maybe cancel any dates that you made, but like, I'm fresh out of a relationship. I need to go on dates.
My God. But anyways, so yeah, I wrote down, is it gay to have a special interest?
I don't.
Think about that for a second. Is it gay to have a special interest?
Okay.
But then you think about how many gay people are neurodivergent, and then like kind of.
Well, okay, think about this. You know the type of gay that you would think I would be part of. I talked about this last week.
I did write down addressing Brandon's homophobia. So
I will say I am a little bit of a homophobic gay, but it's just because people give me the ick. I think it's just my intense neurodivision that makes me see the world differently.
Listening to this, you think about like your stereotypical like flamboyant gay that's so like in your face. Like you would think that would be Brandon, but y'all know that's not Brandon. Brandon is like...
That can come out of me. It is a piece of me, but it is not me, you know? Like, I'm not going to hang out.
That piece of you is like you, because that type of gay is also like the token friend gay, and you are the token friend gay. You have so many gal pals.
Yeah.
And you will be the only gay around, and when another gay comes around, then Brandon's like, oh, what is going on here?
I will say, I've had this issue my entire life. I make men uncomfortable, and I bring out their, like, alpha competitive side, whether they're straight, gay, in between. Doesn't matter. And so I've always had that issue. So I can't even imagine like being in a group of all white, muscular, blonde gays and like
with mustaches.
Like it's like their
muscles.
special interest is taking pictures in a group for Instagram. Those are plans for me. I don't like that. And I'm like, what are these people's special interests? Because I think their special interest is working out. I do enjoy working out. It is one of my interests, but I wouldn't say it's my special interest.
I think a lot of those gays are like neurotypical gays because that's true.
They might.
There can be, because if you think about that, like that checks out because all they want to do is like go out.
Now that I think about it, I've made a few gay friends lately.
Yeah, Brandon has, and we'll go over them. We got to shout them out.
But they are not.
We don't want them to think that we're talking about them.
They are all in our circle.
They're different. I will say that they are like they're like us where they just kind of want to sit around and complain.
I love complaining.
Except for David. David, I feel like, is one of our like most positive friends that we can handle.
But
right?
I feel like David has the same thoughts as us. He just has a better filter.
Yeah. He has to, you have to get him a little drunk for David to start like talking about like, oh my God, life sucks. That person's annoying. Otherwise, David's very nice and pleasant. I think because I'm guessing it's because Dave. Well, is Dave? I don't know if David even listens to our podcast. We love him enough to not care if he does or not.
As long as you have to 5-star review, David.
But I was like, I think he works with a lot of neurotypicals. He works in the professional field. But then I'm like, is David neurotypical? I don't know. He seems to have like a pretty like tight routine, and I don't know how he does it. I don't know.
It could go either way.
Some people aren't as obvious. I think it's tough when you're gay. It's not as obvious sometimes.
I used to be able to hide it really well until I started unmasking. And now that I've fully unmasked, honestly, I'm like, I wish I could put it back on.
Mm-hmm.
Like my facial expressions.
Especially in social situations. All I do is I go home and think about everything. That's why I almost didn't go to dinner with Hilton Carter afterwards, because like, oh my God, these people are all like neurotypicals. And like, these people aren't even really want to talk about plans at dinner. And it's going to be just like awkward. And I was like, but I don't want to miss out on this.
Yeah.
It was good. I'm glad I went, but I was like dreading it like on the way there, because I was like, this is not going to be good. We're going to a fancy restaurant. And I was right. I didn't want to eat any of the food.
Where'd you go?
Any of it. Oh, what is it called? Let me find it. It's right off Loring Park. Like we were overlooking where Pride is.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Cafe Lorcrat.
Yeah, that's French, I'm pretty sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fancy, and they ordered oysters, and I was like, oh, I'm good. But they did have nice mini donuts. We ordered mini donuts after, so that was good. I just sat there when everyone was eating, and I just had 2 Moscow mules.
You're just like, I'm here just to get drunk.
Well, yeah. I didn't realize that my dinner was covered, so I was like, obviously, I'm like a broke bitch. I'm like, the filet mignon, it's like $75. Like, food is expensive.
I love filet mignon. I wish it was cheaper.
And it was like the place where they have like two different, they have multiple different like sizes of like glasses of wine to pick from. Like, you know, where like you can get like half pour, like a full pour, or you can get a whole bottle, $120 bottle. Anyways, maybe I would have ordered something if I knew that it was free, but I was like, I only have like $30 in my bank account. What am I doing here?
Those dinners are the most awkward.
Yeah, those are uncomfortable because like, at one point too, because everyone was like having separate conversations with each other, and then I was like kind of holding back tears because that's socially just like how it goes.
That's probably one thing that made me realize I was not neurotypical is when I got my first job out of college. We did those lunches all the time. And sometimes my boss put them on the company card, and sometimes we all split it equally.
I don't like not knowing. So,
and I would be like, no, I don't. I think I'm gonna like work through my lunch, and they'd be like, no, you have to come, blah 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 blah. And then I sit there through that entire dinner in my head, not saying a single word, just like, oh God, how am I gonna pay for this? Oh no.
And then it sucks because like when at the end, here's the thing, y'all. This is your sign to just like settle up at the beginning. Because then at the end, when it is covered, I'm like, wow, that I could have had such a nice dinner had I not been worrying about that the whole time. Would have been great.
Yes.
It's
the worst.
But it was still nice because I sat across. I made sure to sit. Well, I didn't make sure, but like me and Hilton got to the table first and then just went on either side. So I sat across from him and actually ended up talking about plants and stuff. And there was a couple Instagram auctions going on. And he's like, what is that? And I was like, oh, you need to see what these people are fucking doing. He's like, what is he like? Totally not having a clue about that side of the plant world. And then I was telling him about like our state fair and how we're entering our plates in state fair and how cool it is and all that stuff. Just bragging.
Oh,
it was fun. He's really nice. Going back, addressing Brandon's homophobia. Brandon, do you want to tell people if you're top or bottom? I mean, I feel like people could probably guess.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they could. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I've talked about it before.
I feel like you probably have. Maybe you haven't. I kind of was like thinking on the way here, have you told your coming out story? How you like, weren't you like crying to your mom and then she was like, you should probably tell your dad or something? Or she like made you tell your dad?
We were painting my mom and dad's bedroom before I went to college. It was like when we were like, when you're touring colleges time period. And she was like, we're just painting. She goes, oh, so when you go to college,
oh, you're going to experiment?
Are you going to experiment? Yeah. And I was like, what do you mean? With drugs and alcohol? She's like, with women, with men. And I was like, yes, Mom. I think it's pretty apparent that I am a fag. And then she was like, okay, yeah, I knew. Thanks for telling me. And then we got into the living room and of course, the Tyra talk show was on.
Yeah, I was like, wasn't there some weird show on TV at the same time?
Tyra Banks, thanks a lot. It was The Secret Life of Gays, where Tyra probably dressed up as a gay man and it tried to figure out the secret life of gays as if she didn't know already. And of course, my dad was watching that for some reason. And my mom was like, well, speaking of Secret Life of Gays, Brandon, don't you have something you should tell your dad? I was like, Of course, he had pretty much the same reaction. So
he's like, yeah, okay.
They're like, we knew by the porn on the computer.
Oh my God, that's so bad. I don't know if my mom would have guessed or my parents would have guessed. But I never came out ever. I kind of would love if that was just everyone's normalcy.
Yeah.
I feel very lucky that I didn't have to. But yeah, I just want to normalize, like, yeah, maybe you are, maybe you aren't. There shouldn't have to be some big coming out, you know, because heterosexual people don't have to come out. It's like assumed.
Yeah. Well, I will say I didn't really have to do it that many times. I did it with a close few friends and everyone else found out on Facebook when I had my first boyfriend.
So do people in the comments like, oh my God, you're gay? Or people are like, oh my God, I knew.
I don't really remember.
Do you think, is that deleted?
We might be able to find it, but
that would be great.
But in college, Facebook was...
Oh, it was slim.
Facebook was the...
Well, it's probably a MySpace, wasn't it?
No, it was Facebook. MySpace was when I was in high school. I'm that old.
Well, yeah, MySpace was when... Well, Yeah, MySpace was when I was in middle school. Sorry.
But like, it's right when Facebook came out, so it was super popular. So like, I was posting like 20 statuses a day, uploading 40 albums a day. There's a lot of content on my Facebook. Like, if I ever truly get like to a level where, you know, people are gonna like try to cancel me, I'm gonna have to delete my Facebook, fully delete it, everything gone. My Spotify's hooked up to it.
People listening this are already on their way over there, Brandon.
Well, it is very private, so I have pre-prepared these settings. You cannot. Besides my profile picture, you're not going to see anything.
Is your profile picture that turtleneck one still?
No, I did change it to a new turtleneck one.
Oh. It was that turtleneck one.
And I'm pretty sure someone did call me out for...
Turtleneck Brandon. That's your persona on Facebook.
Well, I know, and then I was sad because I'm like, it's summer. I can't wear all these turtlenecks I bought anymore.
I love how your background is the Hoya bloom.
Oh no, but it's from my Instagram story, and I didn't see it when I was uploading, so there's still the font on it.
Well,
from the Instagram
thankfully
story.
you can't see it in the actual.
Yeah, so that's why I left it. Because then a bunch of people saw that.
Oh yeah, it used to be that weird like dildo looking background thing.
Yeah, from the WAWG Art Museum.
My God, back to it. But yeah, Brandon's obviously a bottom.
Yeah, we didn't get there. We skipped that, but yeah, but I am in my top era.
Top era?
Yeah.
Is that where you were doing at the sculpture garden?
No.
Okay.
Not that time.
Oh my God.
But no, I've been exploring it more. I don't like it.
I've been exploring it. I don't like it. I don't really talk about this a lot. Well, obviously, like, my girlfriend is transgender. I just like people in general. I have dated women in the past, never to a point where, like, they come home to meet my parents type of thing. And also just because, like, I don't know. I think I needed to see more, like, queer couples and, like, older women and, like, stuff. And I was like, oh, my God, that's, like, a thing. And then before Isabella actually came out, I will say and I told her this, I had to like mourn the idea of not marrying a woman.
I think I remember you telling me
I was like, that would really suck if I like couldn't have that. If I just like had to like marry a man and like do that forever, that would really suck.
Honestly, lesbian weddings, I've never been to one, but I really want to, where they're both like in these like gorgeous outfits.
Well,
it's
you'll be able to come to mine.
It's like double the fun.
Isabel does want to wait until she's like feeling more like longer or like further along in her transition, maybe after like facial feminization surgery or something. I don't know. That'll be a trip. Oh my goodness. But don't talk about this a lot. I mean, I talk about this with people like that I am close to a lot, but I am like kind of asexual. That's not really something that it's kind of an autistic thing. I think people don't talk about enough. Because you're someone who like craves touch. I'm the type of autistic where I'm like I don't want that at all.
I would prefer to be riding someone like a backpack 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Just like fully clinged on and like little monkey not letting go. Like that's the kind of touch that I'm craving.
Like even when I like brush up against people, it's like startling. So it's something that I have to like consciously think about.
Did you get a lot of physical touch as a child?
I don't know. I think so. I don't know.
And I didn't.
I
got a decent amount, or I would say not a decent amount, but like I probably wanted a lot more than I was getting.
I don't know. I feel like I got hugged enough. I don't think I still like. I don't think it was something I thought about. Even when people would talk about like in middle school and like high school of like getting together with people and like doing things and whatnot, I'm just like, that sounds so unpleasant and like sounds like a lot of pressure, sounds scary, just doesn't sound like something that I like crave to do.
I do agree with that.
I don't know.
At that point in my life, I think it was terrifying, but that was also because I was, figuring it out.
Mm-hmm. You're like, oh my God, with a woman?
Samantha Fisher's boobs? Me and Samantha Fisher, who was on a previous episode, did date. I think we did talk about this.
Yeah,
in that episode.
very many times.
Yeah. Was
she your last girlfriend though?
Mm-hmm.
You weren't her last boyfriend though, were you?
No, she lived with a man after me.
She did?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. Maybe I did.
Yeah, for like a while, like a year or two.
That's weird to think about how low, because you guys are like 30 and I'm like 25. So
we've lived a lot of life.
Yeah, so you have like a whole era of your lives that like I'm in that era.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I'll like continue to be in this era. I don't know. Hopefully I'm getting out of this house era soon. I hate my neighborhood. It is what it is. I did tell myself, like, moving into that place, like, we're going to be here for several years because I don't want to be, like, moving every year. That's annoying. I want to be able to, like, settle in.
At least you didn't go into it thinking, like, oh my God, it's going to be great. And then it wasn't. You're like, this is going to be...
It's going to be mid.
Bad to mediocre to mid at best.
I will say I like the layout of our little house. Like, I like my little upstairs. I like that I have my little plant room. I like the layout of our, like, living room now. I don't hate the physical house. I just don't love the area. I mean, I wish we had a better bathroom because, like, my last apartment was, like, a nice apartment, and that bathroom was, like, so nice.
That bathroom was 10 out of 10.
So I do miss that, but... We also have next door Gabers, which I don't think I updated because I was in our little banters was telling people how I kind of wanted to be friends with them. They weren't talking to me and having any of it. Finally talked to the Gabers. Oh. We have multiple interactions in the books now.
Oh my God.
Let me go through that.
I remember when you had your first interaction was very brief.
Yes. I was coming in. Looked like shit. I was in the backyard. I was coming in with my groceries and I heard like a hello. In the distance, and I was like, oh God, no, because you know what I mean, I try and run into my house because people are always lurking around in my back alley
and they want to talk.
Yeah, I try and book it in there. So I'm like, oh no, who is it? And I see it's the next door Gaber, who I'm like, why has this man never talked to me before? And I'm like, okay, finally we'll strike a conversation.
Because I feel like where was he if you were coming in through the back?
I was in the back, he was in the backyard, like we were both in our backyard.
Can you see on that side?
Barely, like I could see the top of his head, and I was actually kind of like on my stairs about to like be into my porch.
Tim the Tool Man Taylor, where his eyes are just right over the fence.
So he was like trying to, and plus like our fence is kind of falling down, so like you can kind of see his head a little bit. But he asked me if we owned that fence, and I was like, oh, I have no clue whose fence this technically is because we're renters, so I haven't even thought about it. But he said they're thinking of replacing it. So he was like, I was like, oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I don't know if they would care. I don't even remember what else they said, but he said his name. I'm horrible when people. Oh, here's the thing. When I'm overthinking my first interactions with people so much that I almost 100% of the time will forget their first name, immediately.
I've now
overthinking it too much.
I've now decided, like I've been telling people, like I'm really bad at names. So if I ask your name later, like don't be offended because I will forget.
You should be honored that I asked you because like I could just go our whole lives without knowing.
Well, see, and I also find I have the issue that I say, oh my God, so nice to meet you. And they go, Brandon, we've met twice before. And I go, oh.
Just say good to see you. What a dream, you can say that. You could say it's good to see you about anybody.
Yeah. Or just say, hey, how are you? Mm-hmm. Don't put a timestamp on it.
But anyways, so I actually mentioned, he said that he lived with his fiance, but then didn't mention that it was a guy. And then I said, oh, I live here. I'm Nicole. I live with my girlfriend, Isabella. And then you could tell he went, oh.
Okay. Well, I feel like you've been neighbors for a while. Like you would assume he would know.
Swear to God, no, because he does not look in my direction. Like when he walks by,
so I
watch, like, you know what I mean? I don't like to look at people, but I made it a point to like look at him when I would see him outside. Both of them. So his fiance is the one that I interact with on Nextdoor. Okay. He's the one that I actually became friends with on Nextdoor not too long ago. We did a wave. We waved to each other on Nextdoor. No messages after that. Right. But, I posted that I needed someone to mow my lawn before I got a lawnmower recently. And, people, like one person commented, but then he commented and said, hey, I actually live right next to you. I can mow your lawn Thursday. And I was like, thank you so much. He didn't message me at all, didn't ask me for money or anything, let himself into the back. Like, well, he didn't go through my gate. He couldn't figure it out. So he actually walked around the back alley and then into the backyard. So didn't say anything. Thankfully did not mow over my big ferns in the back. I didn't want to say anything about like, can you not do this? And I was just like, I'm just blessed you're doing it in the first place. I don't care what you mow over. So we got a lawnmower now. But then last week when the maintenance guys were here and dinking around in the back, he messaged me and said, hey, are there supposed to be guys in your backyard?
Oh, what a nice thing.
So thank God, this is what I've been wanting. Like, I don't need to be BFS with my neighbor, but I need to know my neighbor's looking out for me, you know? So I said, yes, there's actually people here. They're trying to fix our AC.
I would be watching someone commit arson on my neighbor's house, and I would just be staring out the window. I'd be Snapchatting it. Wouldn't call the police. Wouldn't intervene.
Play-by-play.
You'd see every second of it.
So that is the happy update on the Nextdoor Gabers. They're looking out for us.
Look at that.
Shout out. So that, I feel really good about that.
The gays got to stick together.
Seriously. And I was like, why are you not looking my way? Because I also was like, are these guys like haters? Because I also, when Sweet Pea would walk by them outside, I would watch them walk right by her. And I'm like, how do you ignore a beautiful cat?
Right.
That is like wanting your attention. How could you? Anyways. I need to go through what I have and haven't got because I've been jumping around on my page. Let me see.
Oh, you should make it like a checkbox situation, where you can like dot it and like put the check mark, and then when we've gone through.
These ones I know I need to do. I will say, we working at the plant shop on the weekends. We get an astronomical amount of queer couples. Whether they are queer friends that are just there together. I'm better at clocking people now. I mean, you can just tell by someone's outfit that they're gay, okay? So many queer couples. It's insane. So that is another evidence into like plants are gay.
Yeah.
Also, Minneapolis in general is very gay. I don't think people talk about this in general.
No,
I mean, it's like for it being like it is a medium-sized city. For the amount of people in it, it's a lot of gays.
I'm pretty sure they're like in the top 5 or top 10 like percentage of the population who identify.
Hell yeah, because it's so many.
Yeah, it's honestly kind of shocking.
So there's that. The queer couples will say plants are, as I wrote down, plants are expressive, and so are the gays.
Yeah,
the gays love nature and good vibes. That's what you get from plants.
Are there any types of planting that you feel like the gays gravitate towards more?
Or like a style of plant or like types of plants?
Anything. Like anything.
I don't know. I feel like the gay guys really like the pitcher plants. Just saying. I'll say you plant queers really love your nepenthes. Even the guys that supposedly are like hetero with your pitcher plants, I'm not so sure.
Because nepenthes are actually one of the ones that are like...
It is the most phallic shape.
That straight men, quote unquote, are most likely to do. But again, I think it might be because of latent.
What?
Like, they're gay,
Yeah, it's not...
They're like... hiding their homophobia because they are,
Brandon, when he says straight guys, he's talking about straight guys that like to hook up with gay guys, which still confuses me because those obviously are not straight guys, closeted gays. I mean, maybe I got this term from Isabella, but she uses the word egg, and I don't know if egg is just for trans people, but they call someone who hasn't come out yet an egg because they still need to be cracked.
I like that.
But I don't know if that's, so let me know.
Yeah, is that very specific?
I don't know if that's just a trans term or if like it also applies to like the closet in general. Well, the closet more sexuality. Is egg more gender? I don't know.
Oh, like a rebirth.
Who knows? So yeah, she calls people who she thinks that are. Here's the thing. Also, Isabella went through a phase right when she came out where she thought everybody was trans. Everybody. She was convinced that I was going to come out as trans, and I'm like, no, girl, you're projecting. It's just you. Not just you. I mean, there's a lot of them, but not me. Sorry.
But no, I need to know more about this egg because I like that phrase way better than coming out of the closet.
Yeah. Closet is lame. But when people say something like the closet is glass, that's funny because you can see right through it.
Duh.
I will also say the term plant daddy, very gay. No hetero man is calling themselves a plant daddy.
Okay.
Are they? What?
No. Okay, so
when I say straight man or hetero man, I'm actually talking about real heteros. Maybe, do you believe that hetero isn't even a thing? Do you think everyone's a little gay? Are you someone who thinks everyone's a little gay? I kind of I don't know. I feel like there are...
I'm on the fence about that one.
Because I can never imagine being neurotypical, just like how I can never imagine being straight. So if there are people who are not autistic, there's got to be people who are not gay at all. So
yeah. I do think so, but I think it's minimal. I don't think it's as much as the statistics would like you to know,
Like how many people are actually straight?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like how many people are being diagnosed with ADHD. Like it's because so many people were like not cognizant of it, you know, like kind of like that.
So like the numbers are skewed.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think that's kind of all I have. And what we have to do last is to shout out some of our favorite plant gays.
Oh. Well, I feel like you should have had me come up with a list. You know, I'm not good at coming up with people on the spot.
I know. We do object permanence. We got to like look shit up.
Okay. Let me just reel some off before you start, because I feel like if I can come up with some.
Well, here's the thing too, is I had to think about this and I was like, shit, no, that person like gives me gay vibes, but they have a wife or something. You know what I mean? Like, so I really have to think about, and people who haven't said one way or the other, you know what I mean? Like I think of people like Sydney Plant Guy. Is he gay? I don't think so.
No, he
I don't
is.
know.
He is.
He's
Yes.
talked about it actually.
He had one post where he talked about it.
Okay, because I'm like, there's some people who like will give you gay vibes, but we don't know one way or the other. They've never actually said anything.
I'm pretty sure I decided to go on the hunt and find that information. But anyway, so you're my favorite plant gay.
Aww.
I love Samantha Payne Fisher.
We love David. David's
Samantha
confirmed
with the plants,
gay.
PV Plant Guy.
Yeah, PV Plant Guy David has an actual husband, so we know he's gay.
Icky Blossoms, Gage, love you.
Yeah, Brandon actually like had like almost, it was weird. Like it was kismet how you found a best friend down in Houston who was like just as homophobic as you and also loves plants. That's crazy.
Twin flames,
really. I feel like we have to pause and like make a list.
Oh, you didn't make a list either?
I didn't make a list at all.
We're just going on the fly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's see here.
Do we need to scroll? We need to shout out people who've actually been on the pod that are gay for sure. How do we know?
I don't know. People aren't.
Okay,
Benji
Plant. Benji Plant is gay.
Oh yeah.
Benji doesn't talk about being gay, but we know Benji and his cute old boyfriend.
He has a very supportive partner who is also a boy.
Who is also a boy. Read Ryan, Floravera Plants.
Oh yeah, another one of us.
Another one of us. Local plant gay.
I don't know.
Okay, Steven, Houseplant Daddy.
Oh yeah,
H-A-U-S,
a local. I was just messaging him today.
Mm-hmm. He has a husband.
How come all these people have husbands and I don't? It's very disappointing. No, I don't want a husband.
Yeah, I was like, you love being in your hoe era.
It's great.
You don't give me husband vibes.
No.
I feel like you would be a good one, but you just don't give me like, that doesn't seem like that's what you're doing right now.
You should have saw me in my 20s. I was husband material. I was honestly kind of sick.
Brian Hood was big on like TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Gay. Be growing with B Hood. Doop-a-doo.
Yeah, I'm like, who do I follow? I don't even know.
I should go in. That's what I should do. Go under my following.
You follow a lot of people, so I feel like that would be a little bit harder.
Frederick, Planty Lad, also kind of local.
Another local one, Joholenko.
I feel like I feel like there's certain people who listen to our podcast and they're like, why are you not thinking of me? Why are you not thinking of me? Joe. We love Joe.
Just so you all know, we are very bad at...
It's bad. No, especially when you make us think about it right now.
Yeah, this is all on you.
It's my fault. It's a bad idea.
One of my favorites, Gay Plant Ho. Love his anthuriums. Swan.
Well, Jordan, they're gay. Jordan, who went by Daisy. We're thinking of like gay guys right now, and you think of like other people.
Also, Jordan, if you're listening, I love your new blonde hair. Welcome to the club.
The club. You see. Yeah, there's some people that like, I think you're gay, but I don't want to shout you out as being gay because I don't really know.
Another one that we for sure know has a husband, Kenny Gruitt.
Oh yeah, Kenny.
Founder of PlantCon International. He is
my friend
treat
Tyler,
and a delight.
Tyler Shoulders. I don't know if that rings a bell.
Oh,
I talk to him all the time. Love Tyler.
I've met him IRL.
I have not. You have?
Yeah, when I was at Down to Earth.
Oh no, he's in California. This is someone else.
Are they have similar handles, right?
Are you thinking of Parker?
Parker, that's what, yeah.
Is Parker gay? Probably. Maybe. Parker, you seem like someone who give me like gay vibes, but I don't really know.
You work at a plant shop, so sus.
Another one where I'm like, oh no, you have a wife. Sorry, y'all. I don't know.
If you're still here, we applaud you. Because we are just totally...
Well, shout out Isaac, a gay in the garden. Love Isaac. Donated to their top surgery a while back. Shout out Cameron Market Botany is a gay.
He's another one of us.
Another one of us. So many people like scrolling. I don't know if some of you are gay.
If you think we're questioning you, let us know so that we can add you to the list. We should make a slideshow.
Well, here's the thing. Do we think, is Aaron's Aeroids gay? He's a local. What?
I truly don't know the answer.
Hard to say.
I've never.
Here's the thing. This is what I think about.
I've never interacted with him in person, so I can't. Like, I need you to feel the vibe.
So people who know Kit and Brienne, they're a local couple. I still see them, even though they're like masc and femme. I still see them as a gay couple.
Yeah.
When I see Brienne and Kit. I think it's his birthday today.
They have I wish I had that kind of energy, but I just don't.
I need this. I was like, I need my perfect person. Because I need someone who's like almost looks like my sibling, to be my couple. Oh wait, Alex, Emmett Plant Daddy, queer.
Oh yeah,
he's gay.
Mm-hmm. He also has a man.
He's a man's. Oh my goodness! Do you want to get another review pulled up while I'm scrolling? Oh my god, Mitchell! I feel bad. Mitchell, my friend, local Mitchell, also gay.
We do only have one more review to read, so we'll save that one until the next episode. But maybe I can figure out this Spotify thing. Anyway, again, if you have not left a review, please leave a review. Because we would love to hear about it.
Tom's a local Plantron. He is gay. Just picking out all these like local people that like most like. I mean, the people listening who are local, they know, and then other people are like, "Who are you talking about?"
It sounds like we might be bullying you, but we're shouting you out because we love you.
Not saying you're gay. You look gay.
Yeah, we're outing you.
I mean, Dominic, who gave us our Spiritus Sanctis.
Oh yeah,
gay. Who else did we see down in like Florida? Who's queer? Zmira? Clumsy Daisy? I feel like she's bi.
Here we are speculating.
I'm speculating. All you people who are giving me bi vibes.
Honestly, it's a compliment, even if you're not.
I feel bad.
That means you're doing something right.
Here's the thing. If you want us, I'll share a bunch of people on our podcast story. So if you're listening to this and you're like, hey, I'm gay, just say that in the DMs. And I'm like, okay, no questions asked. Well, I'll share you to the story. We're going to be shouting out the gays this week.
Yeah, if we didn't actually talk about you, then please let us know. We will include you.
And maybe talk about being gay more, because maybe we didn't think of you for a reason. So maybe you should be start shoving it down people's throats.
More open.
Be
visibility.
Yeah. Be openly you.
Be
who you are.
Here we go. We found the...
Hi, gay.
What are you finding?
We found the Spotify
the comments
podcast thing, except now it won't load. Why won't it log in? I can't figure. I don't understand how this is working.
Brandon got a new computer. Still not working.
I press log in and it says, oh, I have to pick where it's hosted. Ugh, what a nightmare.
I do follow My Queer Jungle online.
No.
Gotta be gay. Demisexual, bisexual, demi-girl flux. Sometimes that's when I feel like I'm 50 years old and I'm like, what?
Yeah, that was a lot of words that I don't understand.
I kind of understand the demisexual thing, but also not completely.
Flux, what is that? Am I in my flux era? I might be.
Yeah, anyone who says plant daddy, you've got to be gay. If you're not, then you're giving off gay vibes, even if you don't mean to.
Okay, well, I can't figure out how to log into this, so maybe we should wrap it up.
Well, where can people find you on the interwebs, Brandon? Do you have any other gay thoughts?
Gay thoughts. It's Pride this weekend, so if you see me out and about...
Shit. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I'm going on, I think, Friday, maybe Sunday. We got to figure out, like, do you want to carpool together or something? Because, like, I don't want to... Like, the Taylor Swift is going to be... the parking, the traffic is going to be crazy.
There is
free transit. I know, but I need to go Friday night, and it's only free transit on Saturday, Sunday.
No. Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Oh, you're right. I don't. My Friday plans have not been officially confirmed. My Saturday plans, I have two things tentatively. Well, I have one thing for sure because I bought tickets for it.
I don't have anything tentatively for Saturday because I work in the weekend too.
Yeah. Well.
I did just see someone else who's gay, and then I just missed it. Lawrence, who owns Growing Groves. They are LGBT owned. Yeah, I should have thought of like queer owned plant shops. Or if you have a local queer owned plant shop,
we
send us that too.
Also,
do a little shout out of that on the gram. Not dude Adam. He's gay. He's gay.
Yes, he also has a man. They're on vacation all the time.
Yep. Oh, I was just going to be like gay, and then I was about to be like, oh no,
it's me.
Oh wait, no, not me. Oh, I clicked on someone else. It was you know who.
Oh yeah. We'll leave that one.
Now people are gonna be messaging me like, who are you talking about? Okay.
Yeah, if you made it to this last one and you want to guess, send us a message. We'll let you know who it is if you message us.
Yeah, someone who I was like, oh no, like they give me gay vibes, but they would not want me saying that about them. Where can people find you on the interwebs?
You can find me
queer.
BrandonBotanical.com, which is my username on all platforms, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, which now that I have a nice new computer that can video edit, I will be posting YouTube videos more often. And by more often, I mean 4 times a year instead of 1 time a year.
Maybe we should have a content day, Brandon, where we come over and record, and I sit down and like make you record stuff while I sit there and like edit videos on my phone and shit.
Smart.
Body doubling. We should do this. We need this. Okay.
Where can they find you, Nicole?
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest. Thank you, everyone, for following me over there on Pinterest. Slowly climbing up. Nicole Larson Grows. Go check my link in bio on one of the things and buy my pink soil if you need some. Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Have a gay day.